Hey everyone, and welcome back to Waxim Investing, where we cover skim prices in digital markets. I'm glad you're here, because today we've got something really big to talk about in Counter-Strike. The brand new sealed Genesis terminal. Some people are calling it a case, and some people are calling it something completely different. Either way, this could change how we invest in skins, and I tested it out myself. I opened 8 of them last night, paying roughly $100. So in this video, we'll break down what is the Genesis terminal, how it works, and how it's different from these old cases, and what it could mean for investors like us. First off, a bit of background. If you've been following the active CS2 drops, you know that the fracture case was one of the cases in the active drop pool, meaning players could randomly get it from weekly drops, and then having the same system as always, a case plus a key, which is standard. But Valve has introduced something completely new. Instead of the fracture case in the drop pool, we now have the Genesis uplink terminal, often called the sealed Genesis terminal. It's part of a weekly drop. So instead of getting a case that you open with a key, you get a terminal. That's a big shift. So what exactly is the sealed Genesis terminal? You get it in a weekly drop. It's free to unseal, and you do not have to buy a key. Once you unseal or activate it, you have a 72-hour limit. During this period, the in-game trader offers you up to 5 different skins from the new Genesis collection. Each one comes with a fixed price, and you only see one offer at a time. You can accept or decline each offer, and if you decline, you move on to the next one. If you accept, you buy that skin. But here's the catch. Once you accept, you cannot see the rest. And if you decline all 5, the terminal expires. That's a huge difference from the old case plus key system, where you paid upfront for randomness. Here you only pay for what you see. Those fixed prices are ridiculously high, and they go directly into Valve's pocket. Something I personally do not like with this at all. Now let me share my own test. I opened 8 of them like I mentioned. What stood out was how inflated some of the prices felt. Even for the lower rarity skins, the offers were higher than I'd expect the market to settle at. And for the higher rarity skins, we're talking insane numbers. Some of the coverts are already showing up online, costing over $1,500. That's the part that surprised me the most. You're not paying $250 to roll a dice anymore. You're staring at a fixed price that can be between 10, 20, or 50 times higher than you'd think. And remember, once you buy those skins, they are trade locked. So there's no flipping them instantly. It's the exact same as when you open a case, just that you have to pay for that skin. Alright, let's talk about the positives inside of the investment scene of this whole thing. Since the Genesis skins can be locked behind huge price tags, we're talking 4 digits for some coverts, a lot of players will shift back towards some of the classic models, buying the older cases and using the keys instead, where you can still hit those high-tier skins for a fraction of the cost. This drives up the demand for those older cases. And yes, if we're just looking from the money side of it, you can still make some money on the sealed Genesis terminals. If you do get one dropped right now, I would probably put it on the Steam market right away, since they're still very inflated. These new terminals also put more attention on the market overall. This new system has some people talking, testing, and trading, which spills over into the old collections. More eyeballs on skin equals more liquidity and more price action across the entire board. It's risky, it's expensive, but it's also an opportunity. If you want to chase those Genesis skins directly, expect to pay a premium. But if you want to invest, the older cases just got a whole lot more attractive. My advice is to not panic, be patient, and track the prices. I'm not saying not to invest in the Genesis terminal. If you have the money just laying around, it can absolutely be a good idea to invest in some of the skins from the Genesis collection. Or you can actually take a sealed one and just put it in a storage unit. Who knows what these could be worth in 1 year or 10 years. But my honest opinion is stay away from the Genesis terminal.